Demon Slayer 2 was showcased at Jump Festa 2025, and even if the Western audience wasn't able to test out the game, we did get confirmation on a couple of stuff that can definitely change your mind whether Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2 is a full-fledged game or just a DLC. Before I deep dive into everything, I do have to put up the disclaimer that this is just a demo. Everything that can be done in this version of the game can and will be changed. Not to mention the public wasn't allowed to play the story. On top of all of that, I did get in contact with the guy that played the game, but even he couldn't try everything. With all of that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. The Jump Festa demo only had 7 characters playable, however you might have heard the rumors that demons can finally play together thanks to a certain content creator jumping the gun, and we need to talk about that. Daki and Yutaro were on the same slot in the character selection menu in Demon Slayer, however Yoko was a solo character. A lot of people think that this just means that it's exclusive to Daki and Yutaro, however there are 2 reasons why I think you can actually choose whether you wanna play with demons solo or in a team. The first and probably least convincing point is that you can still switch between Daki and Yutaro even though they were on the same character selection slot. Sure, one could say that this is exclusive to them, but why were they different characters in Demon Slayer 1? It would have been so much easier and cost efficient to do the Entertainment District DLC if they were one character, even if you could have switched between them. Like, come on. Neither of them were characters that the casuals played a lot, and even though there were a lot of top players who picked Daki, come on bro. Casual players weren't having fun with them. The second reason is because of the HUD. They could have kept the same demon-themed HUD just like Yoko, but now Daki and Yutaro got the same HUD as every other Slayer does. Yushiro in Demon Slayer 1 has Tamayo join as a demon skill. I'm like 99% sure Tamayo even got a hitbox that pushes you away a little bit if she spawns on you. And yeah, you can't really switch out to Tamayo, but both of these points that I have just mentioned makes me think that in the next Demon Slayer game, you will have the option to choose whether you wish to play demons solo or in a team. Otherwise the DLC allegations will just become stronger. And while we are talking about the HUD, a lot of people reached out to me saying that CC2 messed up big time by removing the sections. In Demon Slayer 1 your meter was separated into multiple sections which indicated whether you got enough meter to do certain actions or not. Come on guys, look at my Sparking Zero footage from Gamescom 2024. Everything is blurry. Nobody had the chance to record directly from the consoles at Jump Festa. And also this screenshot pretty much proves that your meter is separated into sections, so stay cool boys. The game is not ruined. Also Zohakuten confirmed. Moving on to the biggest change that I have noticed is that heavy is now cost meter, and on certain characters they even dash in case the opponent is far away. In the demo we could only see this happen with Daki and the new Tanjiro, but if this is not a universal change, then that means characters did get touched on and they changed. About nobody played with Nezuko in the demo, but Heel Bash and Claws were still working the same way as they did in Demon Slayer 1. Like at one point Claws did a 180 and third even though Nezuko missed, but when we look at Daki, Daki is dashing, so she definitely got buffed. Another change that almost nobody talks about is the fact that games now only take 2 rounds. You don't have 3 rounds like in Demon Slayer 1, now you only need to beat the other player twice. I'm curious what you guys think about this, since I remember back in the days when we were playing around with new rules set for tournaments that almost nobody liked having 2 rounds instead of 3, and now this is forced on us by default, which means games gonna take longer and could potentially mean that demons won't be as much of a problem as they used to be in the first game, is what I would say if CC2 didn't decide to give everyone a level 2 at the start of the game. This clearly shows that CC2 just randomly shoots and tries out new stuff for Demon Slayer 2. This is probably the worst change that I have seen. And speaking of level 2, you cannot go level 3 anymore. Meaning if you surge, there's literally no way for you to drop an ultimate while surged on the other player. And you also have no chance to boost back right after your surge runs out. We were so close to the end of the demon meta. By the way, if you've been wondering how to do a team ultimate, you need a level 2. Otherwise, if you only land a level 1, it's gonna be that specific character's ultimate. Now I know that I have called the heavy change as the biggest change, but I'm still not entirely sure how it works, and that is the fact that switching is free sometimes. I've been theorizing with ex-top competitive players and even other content creators as of why sometimes it doesn't cost a bar to switch, and so far it seems like if you are in neutral, it is free to switch between characters. This is probably the only change that I won't be able to confirm as long as I cannot get my hands on the game, so please take this with a grain of salt. But yeah, seems like switching is free if you are in neutral. These were the only changes that I could find. However, I do wanna dispel a rumor that a few people believe is true, and that is the fact that counters are still free. Due to the limited amount of time OnlyFans Naruto had, he thought counters costed meter, but looking at multiple instances, it didn't cost a single meter, so that's been proven wrong. On top of all of that, he also told me that this game still feels like it's the same as Demon Slayer 1. The only difference that he felt is that it's finally 60 FPS and that the game was unfortunately lagging. I wouldn't be so worried about the lag claim, however, because this is literally the first demo and it's not even public to the Western audience. This is probably one of the earliest build, and from what I have seen, the whole event was crowded. For all we know, the consoles might have been overheating. That's pretty much all the changes since Demon Slayer 1. I'm not gonna lie, to me this feels like it could have been a major patch in the first game. However, we still don't know how fun the story mode is, and I just got my hands on this screenshot which kinda looks like a 2v2 stage, but this could be story mode only, so who knows. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Demon Slayer 2 so far, and since you're at it, I would really appreciate it if you guys sub to the channel. Only 1% of you guys are watching my videos, so I would really appreciate a couple of subs. In my last video I did a first impression with facecam on. Go ahead and check out that video if you're interested of how I have reacted to the demo. Hope you all have a fantastic day, stay safe, until next time boys, peace!